Hey guys, Salvi here, just reminding you to, of course, like, subscribe, and follow, and all that kind of good stuff that YouTube asks if you enjoy what video I'm going to put out for you today. Thank you. Mythos HQ, of course, is the VTuber agency of the Greek and Roman pantheon of gods. I would say the gender bent, I'm not sure if that's an acceptable term anymore, but gender bent, where basically the male Roman / Greek gods become female VTubers. The female gods become male VTubers. It's worked really well for them. But today we have a bit of an issue. We have Hermes, who is the goddess VTuber of Mythos, a goddess VTuber. Here, as you can see them a little bit closer here, is having a graduation. And they have announced it on their Twitter with a lot of these things here. She has announced her graduation here. Let's take a listen to what she has to say.
So we're just gonna rip off the band-aid on this one. All right. It is now officially going to be my road to graduation. I am indeed graduating. I am going to be taking the graduation. That is what's going on. I will let you guys take a moment. I will let you guys let that process. I will let you guys talk, and then we will talk more about this. We will talk more about this. Yeah, why indeed, yes. Why is going to be a big conversation.
And they did have a big conversation. They're continuing here. She wants to depart in good faith.
Here's the thing. All of you guys talk to each other. I am bound by contract. And, like, non-compete and stuff like that. And to be fair, like I said, non-competes are so gray area right now. But I do want to operate my departure from Mythos in good faith. I don't want to be vicious or venomous or like, burn it down. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that for the company. I don't want that for the other talents. I don't want that for you guys, because it's not that bad. It's not that bad. We're gonna keep talking about it. But I do have some, like, on that note, like I said, you guys are not bound.
And a lot of companies do put non-compete, especially VTuber companies. I don't know why they do it. We've talked about it during the time when things were happening with Selene and things were happening there and other people were graduating from Niji Sanji, etc. I bring them up because they are right now the largest VTuber company out there. Mythos and other smaller companies do try to put non-competes. In the state in which I live, California, whether you like, some people don't like the state, etc., but the state where I live, California, non-competes are not, they are not enforceable unless you get like a severance, unless you are paid for your time that you do not compete with them. For example, if I'm in the IT industry, I'm in the industry of technology. If I were told by my company, I used to work for DreamWorks. If DreamWorks told me, we don't want you to compete with anybody, we don't want you to go to Disney or anybody else, they would have to, in order for me not to be able to do that, they would have to be able to pay me. They would have to pay me however long they wanted me to not compete. They have to give me a severance package that I would feel would be proper for me to not be able to compete. If they're just like, no, we just don't want you to compete, and that's it, that means they don't want me to work. And no, that's not going to happen. In California, that does not work. And in the EU and a lot of other places, it does not work as far as I know, because they are telling you basically, we don't want you to work because we said so. That does not work. That doesn't necessarily mean Mythos is a horrible company, but it is not good that they're forcing their VTubers into a non-compete. Like she said herself, it is kind of a gray area, but she wants to not burn any bridges, pretty much. And that's why she's not going to go against the non-compete, even though she absolutely can, legally, and even morally and ethically, she can go against it. She just doesn't want to burn any bridges. Let's continue on. This is the last part, I think, that I'm going to put, and it is, like, she has future plans. Like, I did, take a look at other things she says. She has future plans, and one of the things that was happening behind the scenes is that she wasn't getting as much support for certain projects that she wanted to do because they were, stretched very thin. She's not making Mythos to be horrible, but she did say that there were support issues. There were issues with getting support for certain projects. She has certain artists that she works with exclusively, and they didn't support her in, getting the projects moved forward, getting the projects properly done and things like that. So she had to step in various times in order to get these things done. And that is, of course, a problem when you are dealing with any kind of agency, when you're dealing with anything. And that can make it so that, yeah, you may not want to be there anymore. It's things that built up. She also said that there wasn't anything necessarily from the VTuber side. There wasn't like any hatred. There wasn't any rivalry. There wasn't any things like that. In fact, a lot of the chat and other people like Dionysus and others kept her going in times when she wanted to leave. So that is a little bit of, me shortening a lot of things up. Let's hear her talk about this one.
It just kept kind of being like one thing after another for a very, very long time. There was no like evil corpo or anything like that. It was just genuinely a situation where I have big dreams. And it's funny that I say that because like when I say I have big dreams, it's not, it's funny enough. It's not like being super rich. It's not being super wealthy. When I say like big dreams, I mean like, I want to like make this nerdy ass project that I have in my mind real. And then if other people like it, awesome. If other people don't like it, well, that sucks. Let's try another thing. And so like, that's what I mean by like investing in those dreams, investing in those ideas, investing in that stuff. It just kept.
And that's the thing. Like, there's other things here, like future designs. She's gonna have her own design.
Here it is to finding you enjoying success on the roads of the future. I definitely think you guys will. I think you guys will find me. What will come next will be a product of my own design. It will be an original character of my own design.
So that's good. She's gonna be doing a character of her own design. And this is company.
Now that's good and everything because at the end of the day, when you promote a like when you try to build a company around allowing for creative freedom, you have to invest a lot of time and energy to manage that and to help nurture that and to make that grow. And it's very, very risky.
And that is one thing that she said that they did not do properly. Not blaming them. It's just they got too big for their britches kind of thing. They kind of wanted the freedom, but they weren't able to, either money-wise or other ways, support the talents properly. And she's trying her very best not to make Mythos seem bad, but it does seem bad that they were not able to support their talents properly. You find this a lot with smaller agencies, so I don't blame Mythos in and of itself. I'm not saying Mythos is the most horrible company out there. They made a mistake, and their mistake in not properly managing the talents made it so that one of the talents felt they had to leave in order to actually accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. That is where they messed up. I'm not saying they're the worst company ever. There are bigger companies that have done worse. They're bigger companies. They're small companies. There's one thing that you've seen sadly, you've seen in big companies, but a lot more in small companies. Small companies do have these issues continuously. And like I said, I do not want to paint Mythos in a broad brush, but just in her specific situation, they did not support her the way that she wanted to be supported. And that is one of the reasons why she's leaving. She's not leaving on bad terms, but she's leaving because she feels she also mentioned, she feels she's been getting a lot of income, a lot of things like that. She felt it was better to spend that on something she wanted instead of, the whole 50-50 split and all that kind of stuff. So she felt she wasn't getting I don't want to put words in her mouth, from what I understood, that she wasn't getting her money's worth for what she was, because of the cut and all that split and all that kind of stuff there. She wasn't getting her money's worth for everything that was promised, etc. But she's not leaving on bad terms, like I said. She just has a difference in opinion of how things should run and how her specific situation should run, and she's going to be taking care of that herself now. Maid Mint, the lovable ghost maid here, who used to be, of course, part of Niti Sanji. Now she's Mint Fantome, also known as Maid Mint. She is, of course, your ghost maid VTuber. We are talking about her today. I am talking about her today on this channel because she went to Japan for a bit, for quite a while. I think she went for like a week at least, I believe. She was there, kind of more relaxing. Remember how she recently has her voice thing that she needs to deal with. If she doesn't deal with it properly, she could lose her voice. So that is what she's doing right now. She was kind of resting her voice, going and doing her own stuff, enjoying herself as she should. Fellow DMC crazed cutie showed me the wonders of the Capcom store. Says, I'll have to go back because I need Watermelon Beach Fall Virgil. And your guess is as good as mine, but I'll just show you exactly who it was. Who else do we know that is a VTuber that enjoys DMC? Probably a bunch of people. But right now she's talking about Koseki Biju. Your eyes are now open, prepared to accept all aspects of DMC into your life. Thanks for hanging out. Can't wait for you to send your descent into Metal Gear Madness 2. And then it continues on. Oh my goodness. People are like, oh my goodness. Yes, they're really, really happy at the fact that they met together. And I am so happy as well, because that means she had a lot of fun over there. And as she explains even further, all work is done. The ship was a whirlwind of so much. Please look forward to everything in the future. And of course, she's going to be coming up with more things. Of course, more creations, as she always does. Jet lag, the Jet Hag battle begins. And says, we'll turn off the live stream when I can get up. Basically, she's going to, instead of saying jet lag, she said jet hag. I think that's a typo, but still, it's fun. And of course, she is back, and she is currently streaming. She is streaming on the day that I am doing this, at least, which is on the 5th of June. Let's take a little peek into what she is streaming on, and what she's saying, what she's doing.
For sure, for the state of play. But first I want to tell you about my stories, what I've been up to. I'm sure you guys seen some stuff on Twitter and we're just like, ooh, what's happening? What's happening? Where? I wish I could stop the camera. Sorry, it's still bothering me. Hold on, let me look one more time. Wait. I don't know. I'm so like, oh, wait, what is that?
She's doing her 3D, by the way.
Go away. 3D arrows. They appear. Your boy, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Sorry, I missed.
So yeah, she's just having some fun, just chatting with her, with the fan base, chatting with her friends who are very, very, very happy to have her back. Very happy to have the maid Mint with them. The Mint Fantome, of course. And I am very happy that she seems so excited, so energized after having her break, which a lot of people need. Of course, a break is one of the best things you can do, especially if you're, you have a lot of things to deal with. So congratulations, and glad to have her back, and glad that when she was gone, she was able to meet up with Biboo. Civia used to be a VTuber under Hololive's banner, under the banner of Hololive. So they were someone that was under there, under CN, China branch, and they were terminated a while back during the whole Kiryuu Coco Taiwan incident. That whole incident caused me to no longer trust these girls. I used to really look for, Artia was one of the people that I really looked at, and I used to respect her. Civia as well. I thought they were trying to be a little bit more, in the middle of things. But you started seeing some leaks of people who were followers of theirs on the Chinese side of things. And, on their, Bilibili and things like that accounts. And on those accounts, they were trashing and being, I believe, racist and other things like that against Coco. And being very, very vicious and actually organizing attacks against Kiryuu Coco. And being very nationalistic and such like that. I can understand being afraid of an audience, if you are on the wrong side. But they really messed up on that part. The reason why I'm talking about them today, though, is Nami, a person who is a fan of theirs, and was a fan of theirs. I'm not going to blame anybody for being fans of anybody. You can choose your Oshi however you want. They said a lot of people don't know, but Civia was my first Oshi. She ignited my love for Hololive. When she reacted to my arts, changed the timeline of my life. Now I can never find the tweets anymore, and all the screenshots of it are missing. Civia notices my fan art. Thank you everyone. Feels nice. Also, don't worry after being friend zoned so many times. There's no way anyone could divorce you. I guess he's talking about being friend zoned, etc. And of course, this is a response to something of what single interaction do you think changed your whole trajectory? They'll start. And its longest solo ever is the one here. And for this person, for Damn Daria, and Nami as well, as her eternal knight, I will always remember her last command for us to have a wonderful life. And of course, this was before we found out about, all the things that had happened. Maybe they haven't found out, or maybe they don't care. That's up to them, when you have an Oshi, etc. You may not care. That's perfectly fine. But I, at this point, hold them to what they have done. They have never apologized for what they did. So I will hold them to what they have done. I always give people a second chance. Always give people a chance to make things better. But if they don't work for it, then I'm not going to really give them a chance. That's just the way it is. Found these way back machine. Hope it helps a little bit. And there you go. Apparently, people are helping each other out, which is fine. When you have an Oshi, like I said, when you help each other out, if you have an Oshi, perfectly fine. So, don't go and say anything negative to this person. Let them enjoy their life. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just giving you a bit of a background on what Civia did, the reason why I won't continue to support or anything like that they do. But also, it is very nice to see that even though she has done bad things, she did have something positive on Nami's life and their trajectory. Todoroki Hajime is a female VTuber with Hololive device, the original Regloss, the first generation of device. Here you go. Here's the picture of her here. We are talking about her though because recently she has a specific project going on, which is her 3D live called First Starring Role. That is a very unfortunate use of font. It does look nice, but if you are not eagle-eyed as I am, that could look like an H instead of an R. That's all I'm going to say about that one. I'm sorry. It just automatically shot out at me right there. I would do my first birthday 3D live with guests. Important notice: everyone be in the audience and witness them take on the leading role for the first time in their life. Who are the people that are going to be there though? We have these people here, these wonderful individuals here. Guest announcement: Bekura, Biju, Fuamoko, Noel, and Debidu from Nidisanji. One of the, well, I think they're usually called mascot characters, but it's not in a disrespectful way. It's just that they're easily made into mascots. I believe they have a newer one that kind of looks like almost like a Sanrio character. But yeah, the Nidisanji, of course, as I have mentioned before, whenever these things have popped up, it is normal for there to be a Nidisanji and Hololive friendship, as they are VTubers. They are humans behind the scenes, behind the screens, and that can easily mean that, yes, you are going to have friendships in the VTuber world like this. There's nothing wrong with it. It is amazing that they're doing this. I'm so very glad that they're having all of them there. And I know Hajime is going to have lots of fun, and it's going to be amazing for everybody involved. And of course, everyone is very excited. They are, of course, going in there. Hajime is getting closer and closer to 1 million subs. So hopefully his birthday live can, you know, get her a little bit higher than she is right now. Of course, always wishing the best for them and anyone else who has birthday lives coming up. Welcome back, everybody, to the VTuber Showcase, where I like to speak about VTubers and, you know, promote VTubers of different sizes, shapes, forms, types, everything in between. I go and do this myself. I go and find you guys myself because I do love doing this, and I do want to continue doing this for everybody out there. Everybody that I can. There's so many wonderful people out there. Today we're talking about Arimuria, a dutiful dragon maid, non-profit VTuber. I steal hearts for free. So let's take a look at, they also have their blue sky here. And I'm also going to go to their Twitch. They have, they're offline right now. They don't seem to have any specific VODs stored here. But let's take a look at something they did last time.
I'm here and I am parasocial teehee. Ooh, ooh, ara ara waka waka wumpum wump. Emotionally attached fees. Honestly, 557.
At least she's honest. At least she's honest. And here we go, some more stuff on Arimuria's YouTube channel. Organic impressions. Then you leave not leaving blue sky over AI. You're making a mistake. Help Ari spot the anomalies. That type of stuff. So they are also, of course, putting some of their streams. They seem to be streaming more on YouTube versus, well, at least VODs on YouTube versus Twitch, which is fine. I mean, VODs stay on YouTube for a lot longer. In fact, I don't think they ever get deleted. I don't know how YouTube does it, but they never delete it. So it's always going to keep your VODs up, and she does keep it up at least on her YouTube. She's been doing Night Rain recently. And of course, thank you so much for allowing me to showcase you on my channel, Arimuria. I do hope this helps you in some way. Thank you so much for watching. That is all the news that we have for today. Please let me know down below if you want to know any more news or if you have any comments regarding anything that you saw here, which I will try my best to respond to. I love seeing your comments down below. Of course, as well, like and subscribe to the channel. That will give you more information every single day. I do 2 videos a day, so hopefully you enjoy.